I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, June the 16th. We're at the Kinston City Council meeting, City Hall, 207 East King Street. Our regular meeting time is at 5:30 p.m. This meeting is held in person and live streamed on YouTube channel at the City of Kinston, available for viewing on KTV, the local government channel 2. At this time, we'll have Councilman Hardy to lead us in prayer.
Let us pray. O wise and eternal God, give of all good and perfect gifts. Lord, we come as humble as we know how today, Lord, asking you to come into this meeting with us, Father God, to give us guidance and leadership as we make the decisions that affect the members of this community, Father God. We pray that everything that we do is in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hardy,
Present.
Councilmember Aiken, Councilmember Lipford,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Solomon.
And Councilmember Seaforth is out on medical leave. Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to citizens' comments. Citizens must sign in before the start of the meeting if they wish to address the city council. Citizens should state their name and address before beginning their comments and may speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Citizens seeking assistance or asking questions will be contacted by a member of the governing body or by appropriate city staff. Madam Clerk, do we have any for citizen comments?
Yes, sir. Nico Babulis.
Nico's?
Good evening, everybody. Just to take up a few minutes of your time, we came here today to discuss helping Kinston.
And Mr. Nico, hold on just a minute.
I'm here.
Could you recite your name and your
Sure.
current address, please?
Nicholas Boubulis, Bouboulis, 9277 Highland Hills Drive, Leland, North Carolina, 28451. So, I came to Kinston a year ago this past April to participate in my fraternal order, and I really like this town. And I thought that my partner and myself could come and do some rehab work and urban renewal and build some homes for affordable housing, and at the same time give an opportunity to fulfill education in roles of community people that needed help, whether in education, whether getting certification, whether getting help in their studies while they're in middle school or in high school, whether learning a technical trade, affiliating ourselves also with the local community college and seeing whether or not they could have Friday and Saturday classes for life skill classes, as well as money management, life skill, and also to do training classes for those students that do not want to go on to establish degrees and so on. My main purpose here today is to just give some representation. The name of my company is Nico's Enterprises. I have been in business since 1998. I started out in Atlanta, Georgia. I moved to Leland, North Carolina in 2012, March 7th of 2012. As I said, I really like this community. I hope and pray that one day I have the opportunity to come here and help basically clean up some neighborhoods, get rid of some of the negative element that's here, and help as many youth, 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds find themselves on track and giving them the opportunity to own their own homes instead of renting their homes, instead of, relying on government to have for their homes and making things affordable for them. As I said, I do not only want to help build homes in this community, but I also want to give education factors and opportunities to the up-and-coming citizens and try the best that we can as a group, as a council, as a city, and myself not even being a citizen of this town, but in helping to keep people in our community, making it interesting in our community, giving them a hand up, not a handout. Education is very important, and it took me a long time to learn that, but education is very, very important to our community, and I just feel that Kinston is a great place, and I mean that sincerely and honestly. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we have anyone else for citizens' comment?
Tanya Marshall.
Ms. Marshall?
Good evening, Council and Mayor. I have a couple of things that I wanted to mention. I recently participated in Tanya Marshall, 1109 Cary Road. I recently participated in the watch party for the Hurricanes at Granger Stadium, and I just wanted to thank the citizens. It was Omar Marcel's idea, and I just loved the way everything came together. My involvement has been increasing because I do, similar to what the gentleman just spoke, just want better for Kinston, and I appreciate events like that. That was definitely a collaborative effort. Thank you to Bill Ellis for saying yes. And it was just something different. It was kind of fun, not something I would normally do. It was my first hockey game. But it was just really nice to see various citizens come together to do that. That being said, there's a company or organization coming here called Growing Generations that just volunteered to help our unhoused population at the homeless shelter on June 27th at 11 a.m. They're going to be bringing toiletries, food, and clothing, and it'll be hot food. My challenge is to anyone who's listening, I think it would be wonderful if the council would participate as well, because we also have a recovery center here in Kinston that's in desperate need of toiletries. So I would just like to challenge anyone who hears me to just get a box, fill it up with toiletries. They need toiletries more so than clothes. And just, bring it down there. I'd be happy to take a bunch of boxes, just kind of how we do the Christmas boxes, just kind of fill it up to bless somebody. Also want to mention the sewer project. All these things are related to Kinstonians coming together, working together. The Public Services is working on a $3 million grant to repair the sewer lines in part of the city. As I have been helping them to get the surveys done, I've heard a lot of concerns from the citizens. My ask is that maybe some of you consider helping get some of these done. We've made great progress, and we've almost gotten all the surveys done, but there are there's some discouragement, there's some misinformation, and then there are just some concerns and people needing help. And I just think it would be cool for them to see their leaders, coming out and talking with them. I get the surveys done and then end up just kind of sitting there chatting with people. So that doesn't have like a set deadline right now. We're trying to get it done by the end of June, definitely before the end of July. And I think it would help to see familiar faces too, because a stranger coming up asking for information can be kind of iffy. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention was to also just thank you for your work. There was a lot of concerns about the board, the planning board, making a decision, and then it seemed as if you guys didn't agree with what we did. But I know, having been on both sides, that you did, and I thank you for your consideration and for taking into account all of our concerns and making it a plan so that somebody is able to open their business with all of the considerations taken into account by the board. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Marshall.
Miss Gwendolyn, I can't read your last name. Woods. Oh, thank you.
Ms. Woods?
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is Gwendolyn Woods. I stay 307 West Blount Street. So I work for the Lenore County Council of Aging. And so yesterday we had the pleasure of going to the county commissioners. I have never been there, but I went there yesterday and I sat there. And the reason we went was for elderly abuse. And I listened at one lady shared about her mother experience. And you know, they tell you, don't talk, call no names. And she called the place. Everybody was like, oh, no, don't do that and stuff. So she was like, I'm sorry. So then they talked about Lovick's Cafe, but where they got me was the taxes. So Mr. Rouse, he was talking, and he began to talk about how that the city, I guess everybody, like we got the transit or whatever, and they talked about different people taking care of themselves, I guess in a roundabout way, or however the business can hold their own. And then he was like, maybe he was thinking that we could take it down maybe 2.5%. So a lot of them died out then. But when he broke it down, he said, last year, the citizens were hit with the taxes. They should not have been. It shouldn't have been that. We shouldn't have had to pay the amount of money that we paid. And then he said, but now they got what they needed. It doubled plus. So he was telling them, we are well cushioned. There is nothing. We are well cushioned. And I sat there and I looked, and I can't say I'm not going to say I got mad, but I was disgusted because I come from paying $412 to now you're telling me I got to pay $1,786.35, and I'm like, how? And a lot of older people are saying, even some of my people that I take care of. One lady told me just today, she said, I was telling her about last night. She said, I pay $1,800 a year. And I looked at her, I said, whoa, you're right along there with me. And she said, I'm 90 years old, and her barn had a latch. And she said the wind got hold of it one night. And when she walked bent over, so she stayed by herself. So she says she called the police because she thought somebody was breaking in her house. Well, they came, and they checked it out, let her know it was okay. In return, they sent her a letter saying the next time they come, they're going to find her. And I was like, wow, that was something. But I think the thing that got me the most was, I know my time is up, they ended it with, y'all know we got the July the 4th coming, and they talked about how everybody just got ecstatic, happy with what's coming on the 4th of July. The man gonna dress up, he's gonna read the thing, and they ended up with the hot dogs, how we need to go to the farmer's market and get the world's biggest hot dog, the best hot dog. And I'm like, wow. When I go to Walmart, I'm seeing an 80-something-year-old person up here saying, welcome to Walmart. Why? Because now they don't pay for their houses, and we are still paying for our houses with the taxes. Now they have to go back and work. That was a lot. So I don't know where the difference between the city and the county is, but that maybe there could be something in the middle, because a lot of people have already done started trying to pay for their
Ms.
taxes.
Ms.
I'm
Woods,
sorry.
I'll meet with
I'm
you
sorry.
after the meeting. You can come.
Okay.
You can step in my office and we can continue this.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Madam Clerk, would there be anyone else for citizen comments?
Paula Blackwell.
Ms. Blackwell?
Good evening, y'all. I'm Carla Blackwell, 804 Chestnut Street, and I'm here to talk about that unlawful removal from June the 2nd. I stood here at this podium, followed every rule, respected every time limit, and exercised my constitutional right as a citizen during those public hearing comments about the budget. I stayed on subject about the budget. I finished my remarks, and was returning to my seat. And without warning, without cause, without any lawful, I said lawful here, basis, our mayor felt like he had the right to have authorities remove me from this chamber. Let me be clear tonight. That's unlawful. You know, the North Carolina Court of Appeals told me to come and let you guys know tonight that I can criticize anything I want to about you guys. That's protected speech. They're going to protect my speech. Nothing I said was rude, disrespectful. It was my truth and my opinion. And what disappointed them most was, even though the mayor ordered that removal, no council member made him give a reason why. You guys gotta be, y'all gonna be held accountable. This isn't the mayor's law. This is North Carolina General Statute 143, 318.17. It clearly states that a person may only be removed from a public meeting if they are actually disrupting the meeting. You cannot put somebody out because they are disagreeing with you or criticizing you. The U.S. Constitution protects that speech. And I just stopped by today to tell you guys tonight, I'm going to hold you guys accountable. You know, the Board of Elections played with me and my freedom and my speech. I don't think they think I'm a joke today. And you guys got to get it right. The next thing I want to talk about, we're 2 months now. I still have not gotten a single document or a reason why I haven't gotten the documents from planner Elizabeth Blount. Why are we continuing to let them plan when they haven't showed that they're legally planning? There's no board minutes, there's no agendas, there's no oath of office for the chair and the vice chair, and I want this stuff. And I'm going to add that to the lawsuit. You guys are suppressing public information. I don't want to be a butthole, but you're making me.
That's all, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's move on. Madam Clerk, minutes for Tuesday, June 2nd. See. Let's make a motion to adopt the agenda. Do we have some additions? You want some additions? Okay. At this time, let's add to the agenda Chief Goyette, special event permit, Kinston Teens on Sunday dinner. That'll be item number 9 on the actions. Item number 10, Chief Goyette, special event permit for the Really, Really Free Market. Okay. All right, it's been motioned by Councilmember Lifford. Second? Second by Councilmember Aiken. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. So let's move on down to the action agenda. Item number 1, approval of the annual budget ordinance for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. City Manager Ralph Clark. Oh, okay. A little next to myself. All right, let's approve the minutes for Tuesday, June the 2nd, 2026.
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Lifford. And second? Second by Councilmember Aiken. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried.
Okay, now you can get
Yeah. Let's get to Ralph.
to, okay.
Let's talk about this budget. Item number 1, consider approval of annual budget ordinance for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Ralph Clark.
Mr. Mayor, this meeting has been scheduled for consideration of the approval of the budget. We've held a public hearing on June 2nd. We've heard citizen comments, and a number of comments were made by the citizens, along with you as a council. And a draft that has been requested for adoption, these comments were all considered, and the following adjustments have been made to the budget. The tax rate will be set at 69 cents, which is a 4 cents reduction from the current rate. We've added back into the budget $42,000 for Parks and Rec, the $17,000 for Parks and Rec and the mock gym, $25,000 in organizational support, $8,500 in fire department, and this was a contract that was not brought up, but we found out that we omitted it in numbers. $2,500 was added to the mayor's travel, $5,000 was added to the council travel, $3,500 added to the mayor's training, and $4,000 to the council's training, and $55,800 was added for street resurfacing. And understanding that not every request was addressed, and sometimes it was just never enough revenues to do all the things we need to do or were requested to do. And again, I will remind you that there are no changes to the water, sewer, electricity, stormwater fees, solid waste, or the garbage collection fees. We are scheduled to have rate increases from our electric supplier during the fiscal year. Matter of fact, it's 2 of them that we're expecting to get, one in October and one next spring. And at this point, we without looking at what the absolute rate is, we do not see any reason to increase the rates to cover these two increase in charges to us. On the water side, there was a proposed rate increase next year, and it appears with some of the changes we made, we are able to delay this increase by at least a couple years. There again, with the proviso, there are some new regulations out here that we're not clear on, so we will reserve the right to say not absolute, but at this point it looks we're okay for a couple years. And noting that the economy is doing the same thing to our budget as it is to everyone else's budget, and we have to, we don't have to buy groceries, but we have to buy many of the same things that you do. And we recognize these are difficult times for citizens, but they've been difficult times for us. We must do all we can to lessen the cost to the customers, to the citizens, while continuing to provide quality service. This proposed budget does this, and I recommend approval for the following. That's annual budget ordinance 26-27. The internal funds, we have a number of internal service funds, public service fund, employee health and insurance fund, health self-insurance fund, fleet maintenance fund, inventory fund, facilities and property management maintenance fund, and an ordinance to amend the fees and charges. It's a slight adjustment in the planning and development services. So I put it to you for your consideration.
It's time. Questions from the council?
Mr. Mayor, I don't have a question, but I do want to make a few points here. I'm glad that the council came together after our last public hearing about the budget, and there were some concerns of my personal concerns about the organization support, and I know Mayor Pro Tem agreed with me on that concept, but I was glad that the council came together to address that issue, because I think it's very important that we give something back to our citizens and their organizations. As Ms. Marshall was speaking earlier about the homeless shelter, and the young lady got up and spoke about home for the aging. I just want to say to Mr. Dunk and to the homeless kitchen, the new manager there, I forget his name. But we do hear our citizens speak about their needs in the community, and we're doing everything in our power to try to help out, not only from the city council, but from a personal level. You can reach out to these organizations, and we truly, some of us reach in our own pockets to make sure that these organizations stay afloat. And also our Parks and Rec, because it was dear to my heart, those part-time workers not getting paid by $8 and some cent an hour, and being able to get them a raise, and then we cut Parks and Rec budget. I felt that was important that we went back and replenish some of that funding, because that's important. Our kids are our future, and whether anybody believe it or not, they're dear to my heart, and I'm glad that the council came together to address these issues. It was very important for us, and the pouring back into our community and our youth is something that we need to look forward to and support them. You know, we got a lot of these organizations going on right now. I see no faces showing up for these events to support these kids. What they're doing at the gate and other places, Boys and Girls Clubs. And we really need to, if we call ourselves caring about our community, I think that I should see some faces out there sometime when they need help to help organize these kids or give food to them or whatever we need to do. I think everybody should have a part in that. So I'm just grateful that the council came together and was able to make these changes. And I just want to thank the manager and the mayor as well for their input and their guidance in making sure that this got done.
Thank you. Sam, you got something? No. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you for listening to the concern.
Bless.
I just want to say thank you for listening to the concerns, and for some of the people that didn't hear, the taxes is going to be 4% going down. It was hard to, just reach that 8 cent that we thought we could reach, but 4% just to show you that we are trying to do the things that we need to do. That's it.
All right, good deal. Thanks, Ralph. Thank the team, the heads, department heads, for the budget. And listen, guys, I know we can't keep apologizing for the past, but we're trying to go forward, and we're gonna do the best we can going forward. Sometimes we learn from our mistakes, So not saying people made a mistake, but we look at things differently, and if we can find a solution, we can go forward together. Like I always say, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, take somebody with you. With a team like this, we can go far together. So hopefully this will bring some relief to our citizens from last year's big tax hike. Everybody felt it. This year should be a little bit better, but the bills still come in, and you guys got everything paid and accounted for in this particular budget. So we worked long and hard on it. So at this time, we entertain a motion. Got a motion by Councilmember Leffert, second. Second by Councilmember Hardy. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. Moving on. Ms. Blount, we're going to talk about the approval of the rezoning of a property from I-1 to B-1 general business. This was tabled from the June 2nd, 2026 hearing. Ms. Blount.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Won't go through all of the details that we did because, like you said, it was tabled. But just a refresher, this is a rezoning request. The current zoning is I-1 industrial. The applicant is requesting to go to B-1, which is general business. It is located on the corner of Dr. Martin Luther King and West Vernon Avenue. As you see, all around it is industrial 1, and counter-corner to the northeast is B1, to the east is RA5, and to the south is industrial as well. It is in compliance with the comprehensive land use plan. This is a picture of the actual location of the structure that's located on the corner. And this is what the proposed new rezoning will look like should you approve it. If you do approve this request, we ask that you make the motion that it is either consistent or inconsistent with the comprehensive land use. Remember last meeting, the public hearing was closed, and you asked that the applicant come forward just to answer questions from you. So at this time, Mr. Edwards is here, so that he is the applicant for this request. You can answer any questions.
Thank you.
Good evening. First, I want to apologize that I was not here at the meeting earlier this month. There was some miscommunication. I did not think this request was coming for you until July, so I apologize for not being here. But this time, the landowner asked me as a realtor to help them lease the building, and so that's what I'm trying to do. The I-1 zoning is pretty restrictive as far as it comes to anything retail. And so I thought it would best be served if we could change that to general business. That's what most of Vernon Avenue is. I do not have anybody on a waiting list as to wanting to lease it at this point in time. I can't tell you what it's going to be, just that all options are on the table, and certainly we'll work with Ms. Blount on what the restrictions are, and we'll follow those to the letter of the law. But I'm open to any questions you may have.
Any questions from the council?
So the question is, that spot that's on the corner, right?
Yes, sir.
The big question is not being a vape smoke shop.
I believe
So-
with the new restrictions, that use is not allowed.
So we really have no problem. It's just that vape is on every citizen in our town. And even if we say something about we gonna rezone or open something, first thing they say is a vape shop. So we
I
just
agree.
wanna make sure
I've
it's
gotten
clear.
quite a few calls on that. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. But it cannot be a vape shop. I won't be a party to that.
I mean, we got Ms. Blunt in a position where she can kindly, if she think is fair and is good, for somebody to zone it to B1, and I see a couple of B1s around, I mean, I don't think we'll disapprove it. I mean, it'll be in, I don't know. I gotta kindly, I don't know. I gotta see what the council talking about.
Okay.
Cause it's just little different things, that we look at. And moving forward, we're trying to be positive and make the community positive.
Sure.
so
And
that's what it-
something would be better than a vacant building. And staying at I-1 is so restrictive, it would be difficult to fill.
What you think? What you think, Pearl? Tell me what you think. 'Cause I'm
Well,
thinking whichever you
I
think.
knew I will always be the one put on the spot. But I just told to be honest with you, I got an issue with safety. I got an issue with parking. So those are my concerns.
Understood.
And I read your concern about parking, and it is a tight lot. There's no doubt. But remember now, the gas pumps are gone. It's been completely repaved. The gas tanks have been removed, so no issue, safety issue there. And you can actually drive all the way around that building. So if it was a florist or an insurance office or any number of uses, I think parking is fine for that size lot. Anybody that's going to use it has to understand they're restricted by the size of the lot.
Same.
All right.
Other concern is I don't want to be a what you call it? One of those little market stores.
Drive-through stuff like that.
No, not drive-through, just a market store. A convenience store, rather. Because I'm gonna tell you why I feel that way. Most of the people that get these buildings, they say it's gonna be a convenience store. Next thing you know, you can't sell vape out of there, but what else can you sell? So that's another concern of mine.
How about you, Ms. Solomon?
Of course, I am glad that we put the ordinance in place because of the saturation of vape shops throughout this community. Of course, we would like to see something else besides a vape shop. Well, it can't be a vape shop, but another convenience store. Like, we would like to see something different. We do understand that it's out there, and I heard you, Mr. Edwards, when you just said that right now, I don't have a list of people knocking the door down to rent this building. And I do also realize that we, as Councilman Lipford said, you know, when we look at that area, everything is B1. It's B1. And so our hope and our prayer is that someone with some creative juices will come in and attempt to secure, you know, that building besides, you know, another, you know, convenience store.
And I.
Mr. Edwards, oh,
No,
I'm sorry. I was gonna ask you,
Sure.
you can address something.
Okay, I will say the owner, the first thing he told to me in our very first conversation, he hoped somebody would come in, knock that building down, and maybe a little coffee shop. You know, some of these, you know,
That's nice.
chain coffee shop, you know, that was his hope. And I will tell you that he has the rent set at a level that it is not going to be a small mom and pop operation that just comes along and fails in 6 months. It's going to be somebody that's pretty credit worthy and a good tenant.
We love that possibility.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry,
Per-
you were next.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is he just wants to lease it, he don't want to sell it?
At this time, that is correct.
The reason I asked, I want to know how much you want it for.
me and Pearl were gonna go half. No, I'm just messing. Strike that. But my thing is, we can't really approve that if we don't know what's going there. We don't mind approving it, but if you bring it back to us on the person who want to rent it, I'm thinking the council would say that they will approve it. But I don't know if we can approve the B1, because B1 saying anybody can go there. We approving this zone, anybody can go there, and that's what we face with. So if somebody say we gonna rent it from you and you come back and say this is what we're gonna do, don't the council agree? Wouldn't y'all agree the same thing?
Yeah, let me make a point here. The way the rezoning works and the rezoning law on a garden variety rezoning such as this is it really doesn't matter what the applicant tells you he's going to use the property for. In fact, the law says you're supposed to disregard what he tells you he's going to use the property for, because that would be contract zoning. So you are bound to look at the entire list of permissible uses in the B1 and then decide whether you think that's the right zone for this property. And that list is in your package, and it is a pretty extensive list of permitted uses, which is part of the motivation for changing the zone, because it does give the owner a lot of flexibility.
You can't specifically tell him if it's in this list, you can't tell him he can't do it.
I'll come back to you. I'd just like to,
No, it can't. Vape shops can't be there. The list was already cleared out.
to do what you were saying, I understand what the attorney said, but when potential leasees look at the space and they see that zoning and they know that their use can't be used, they pass and they're moving on to another property pretty quick. So it would really, really restrict who I talk to and who will come talk to me about that property without this zoning change.
Well, I think this is an opportunity to advertise the property, free advertisement right now by your being here, that there is an opportunity to secure a building, B1 zoning, on the corner of MLK and Vernon Avenue. And, you know,
You
it
go
get-
ahead and throw in my phone number while you're at it. You're doing a good job.
Jess, I'm gonna let you throw your phone number in. But I think it's a good opportunity. And what happens in our community a lot of times is that there are spaces available. There are opportunities available. And we've got to be willing to invest in our own communities. And what happens is when individuals take the opportunity to invest, we still cannot discriminate or try to find every reason in the world why you can't come here or operate here. Because the reality of it is that, you know, like the policy and policies say, you know, they're very clear. And just the hope is that people who do care and are able to finance investments in communities will do so. So again, there's a property available on the corner of MLK and Vernon Avenue.
My sign's in the window.
Yes, contact Jess Edwards.
No, David Edwards, please. David Edwards.
David Edwards.
Yeah. Jess is my competition.
Oh, that was DAVID Edwards. But I'm definitely in favor of changing the zoning.
All right, so you're in favor for it, right?
I am.
All right, so I'm in favor. I motion to make it a B1 rezoning. Oh, gotta do the language.
Yeah. Should rezone it as recommended.
Oh, hold on, I forgot he was telling me.
To rezone it as recommended by the planning department.
I motion to rezone it as permitted by the planning department
And to approve the consistency statement.
and to approve the consistencies, right?
Consistency statement.
The consistency statement. That sound good?
All right, it's been properly motioned by Councilmember Lifford that we, second by Councilmember Aiken. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none?
No?
No. The ayes have it, the noes know it. Motion carried.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
That's good.
Debra.
All right.
Mayor, before you go to the next one, if I could take a point of privilege. Just want to let the council know that we are, as you know, we're updating a lot of our plans because they've been so outdated. We have the multimodal transportation plan that we are updating. The open house is going to be June 30th, right here at City Council. And that's going to be a floating open house. We really would like for council to come by, the public to come by, provide input. This is looking at our transportation as far as transportation that is safer and is connecting more of our adjacent neighborhoods to one another. We're looking at sidewalks, accessibility. So please, please come by. That's June 30th, right here at City Hall, beginning at 4:30 p.m. And it is a floating open house. Look forward to seeing you.
Mr. Blount, I just had one thing on that, I think Ralph, Mr. Clark brought that up about some opening jobs that we got. So that'll be considered too? Some opening jobs that we have?
Oh, no, this is a different fair. She's talking about is it historic district?
No, this is all of the transportation that we're looking at for the city of Kinston, our multimodal transportation
All right.
plan.
Transportation.
So it could be, talking about cars, transportation, bike, ped, sidewalks, all of that. And we're just getting public input.
Got it.
Madam Clerk, you'll make sure you send that reminder.
Thank you, Ms. Blunt. Good?
Yep.
Okay, let's move on down to the action agenda. All right. We're going to consider the approval of the fiscal year 2025 operating budget amendment. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet is the last operating budget amendment for the fiscal year 25-26. The most notable parts of that is moving approximately $840,000 out of the street maintenance organization to transfer to our infrastructure project, and also year-end unexpected expenditures in some of the organizations. I'm happy to answer any, oh, and also, necessary adjustments for project closings, which are also in your, agenda packet tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Ms. Goodson,
Yes.
one quick question. With these amendments and the budget being approved, do we still have a healthy,
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, revenue and expenditures are in line with the current year. Is, she's describing, I think I hear it correctly, is that some of the line items need to be adjusted, but there's adequate revenue to cover them. So.
Yes, and what we normally do, as long as we're just making sure that the organizations, we have authorized money for them to spend, and we do it via an appropriated fund balance adjustment during the year, but we have other organizations that are under budget. So it is still in a very healthy position.
all right, thank you.
I refer to this as housekeeping, or basically cleaning up for the auditor to come. We try to get all of our line items where they're all, none of them are overspent. And it's not that we're having, we're short anyway, it's just we're having to do some adjustments. So this is nothing critical here except for us as from a bookkeeping standpoint so when the auditor does come, we're prepared and all the line items everything looks like it's in order. So I don't see this as anything that's major. It's pretty typical at the end of the fiscal year everywhere.
What I normally do is I normally go through each organization at usually the 1st of June, and I estimate out the rest of the year just to make sure that we're covered for the end of the year.
Thank you.
All right, any more questions from the council? It's none, okay. At this time, we entertain a motion to consider the approval of the 2025-2026 operating budget amendment. Motion by Councilmember Hardy, second. Second by Councilmember Liverett. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. All right, number 2, consider approval of the amendment to amend the transportation infrastructure projects. Ms. Donna Goodson.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet, you do have an amendment to, an ordinance to amend the capital project, the Transportation Infrastructure Project, which was created in 2020, and it was established to fund projects to improve and maintain the roads throughout the city of Kinston. On March 3rd, the City Council was presented with a list of proposed streets to be included in the 2026 road improvement project, and was agreed to by consensus to consider using funding from various sources to cover the cost associated with the road improvements. Tonight, you just adopted an operating budget amendment to move the remaining fiscal year 26 funds for street construction, reconstruction, street resurfacing, and street prevention, as well as available savings from vacant positions in the street maintenance organization of the general fund to the transportation infrastructure project to encumber the available funds in the capital project via transfer from the general fund. The total funds available to transfer to this project is $830,400, and this ordinance is to approve that amendment.
Okay, questions from the council?
I got a question. I heard it's a lot of money.
These are monies that are were approved in the fiscal year 25-26 operating budget already. We did not finish the resurfacing construction. The contract has just been awarded. Is that correct? So what we're doing is moving the money to the infrastructure project.
Got it.
So that we can go ahead and use those funds for street improvement.
Plus, these funds was already approved
Yes.
before. Got it. Motion.
One other question, Ms. Goodson. What's the total we spent on road resurfacing this year? That's probably a Steve question, I'm assuming.
The total,
That we approved for street improvement, resurfacing, just for resurfacing.
yeah, I didn't bring it with me, but I believe it was about $910,000 for the contract.
And the reason I brought that up is I keep thinking back when I first came on the council, and when we was only spending maybe $50,000 or $100,000 a year on road resurfacing, and the community was in an uproar about us fixing roads. And so you see how far we come over this period of time of what we used to put in the road resurfacing and what we put in the road resurfacing now. So just letting the community know that we hear you and we're taking action. That's it.
Okay, any more questions from the council? None? All right, at this time, we want to entertain a motion to consider the approval of the amendment to amend the transportation infrastructure projects.
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Hardy, second.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Lippert. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. All right, moving on, Ms. Goodson, you still up. Number 3, consider approval of closing the various completed projects.
I'll go through the list so we don't have to repeat them.
Thank you.
This, we fell in light of the time essence, so we would just do one approval of all of the closings. And we're looking at project C-2121, which was the NEA Our Town grant, C-2125, which was the NCHFA 2022 Essential Single Family Rehabilitation Project, C-2906 was the CDBG Coronavirus Grant, G-9143 was the CDBG Neighborhood Revitalization Grant, P-9141 was the 2020 Edward Byrne Memorial JAG Grant, P-9144 was the 2021 Edward Byrne Memorial JAG Grant, P-9145 was the 2022 Edward Byrne Memorial JAG Grant, P-9147 was the 2022 Kinston Police Department Block Grant, P-9148 was the 2023 Edward Byrne Memorial Grant, P-9149 was the Regional Economic Development Reserve Grant, P-9150 was the 21 Kinston PD PSN Grant, P-9151 was the 22 Kinston PD PSN Grant, and T-9303 was the Kinston Stormwater Inventory and Condition Assessment Grant. All of these projects were fulfilled to our ability, and this is just the formal amendments to officially close the projects.
Okay, any questions from the council? No questions from the council? At this time, we entertain a motion to consider the approval of closing of various completed projects. Motion by Councilmember Lippert. And second? Second by Councilmember Aiken. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. All right, item number 4, to consider approval of acceptance of the urgent repair program loan program. Jordan?
Good evening, council. I just wanted to award and thank you guys for all your help and announce that we've been conditionally awarded $137,500 for the 2027 Urgent Repair Program from the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. We hope to assist up to 8 low-income homeowners with imminent life or safety-related housing repairs. The Urgent Repair Program of 2027 focuses on special population that are at risk of displacement. Council is being asked to approve the post-approval documentation, otherwise known as the PAD, which includes the assistance policy and the disbursement policy required by the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. Approval allows the city to finalize the award, execute the funding agreement, and begin implementation of this grant program. The PAD will outline eligibility, priority ranking, procurement standards, and loan structure for participating households. All work must address urgent threats to health or safety and follow competitive building through the city's approved contractor registry. And assistance is provided as a forgivable loan, reduced at $5,000 per year until fully forgiven. Staff will hold 2 public information sessions to ensure residents understand eligibility and how to apply, one on June 25th at 5:30 p.m. at the City Hall Council Chambers, and one at June 27th at 9:30 a.m. at Georgia K. Battle Community Center. And we request that council approves the Urgent Repair Program post-approval documentation so that city may proceed with the funding agreement and begin program implementation. I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jordan. Any questions from the council?
Yes. So, Georgia, I just wanted those dates. June 25th and June 27th.
June 25th at 5:30 p.m. at the City Hall Council Chambers in this room, and then June 27th at 9:30 a.m. at Battle K Community Georgia K Battle Community Center.
And that's informing the citizens where they can, how they, try to get this loan?
Yes, sir. So we'll inform them of what the program is, the kind of eligible assistance, and then how to apply, where to find applications, and the next steps after applications. Kind of the same way, I'm not sure if you attended one of our essential single-family rehabilitation loan program information sessions, but it'll follow the same format as for that.
Got it. Yeah, I just want to make sure because a lot of people keep asking, where's the money? How do you do this? I guess we was together and we getting those questions of how do we get that money they keep talking about that help us on this loan? Well, we got turned away and stuff like that. So that's good information.
And any questions about loan or applicant status for any programs can be directed to me, and I'm more than willing to help answer any questions for any citizen.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Again, I just want to say to you, Justin, Liz.
Jordan.
What did I call you?
Justin.
Justin.
Jordan.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, me second.
I like that name, but you're better as a Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm something with these names tonight. But Jordan, I want to tell you thank you, you guys. Like it was recently that you just told us about the possibility of us attaining these additional grants. And so it's just really good to have you come back, suddenly and tell us about us receiving such funding. So
Of course.
thank you for all the work.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Elizabeth.
Anybody else from the council? Sam? Hey, thanks again, Jordan. These are some badly needed resources in our community. Appreciate your hard work. At this time, if no more questions from the council, we'll entertain a motion
Motion.
to consider approval of the acceptance of the urgent repair program loan program. At this time, I entertain a motion.
A motion.
Motion by Councilmember Lifford. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Solomon. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. Go ahead, Jordan.
Just one final thing. Ms. Elizabeth mentioned her public input meeting. We will be holding one for the Historic Preservation Design Standards update as well. That'll be at June 18th at the gate at 5:30 p.m. So, thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
That's the historic one.
Okay, let's move on to item number 5. Consider approval award the following bids to bid PS MRM 0505-2026 city complexes to Precision Lawn Care and Landscaping in the amount of $44,700. Steve Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. If it's all right, I'm actually going to talk about the next 3 items all together as one conversation, and then you have 3 separate actions to take.
Thank you.
Back in early March this year, our current contractor that does our mowing and right-of-way maintenance had notified us that he was not going to be able to honor his prices moving forward any further. The vendor was Charles Hughes Construction. He'd been doing the work under the contract since 2014 with no price increase since 2014, which is pretty remarkable in this day and age to go that long without any increase in revenues for doing the same work. We all know that gas and labor and things like that had gone up in the meantime. So we put the contract out for bid in March, accepted bids on March 26th. At that point, all of the work was in one contract, and we had one bid. That was from Charles Hughes. The bid amount was $364,364. The current contract he has for the same work is $188,410, which kind of shows where he felt like his expenses had gone up so much over the years. So after that, we met with him, talked to him a little bit about it. We couldn't figure out a way to really reduce that scope of that bid to make it more manageable, so we decided to go back and revise the bids. We came back out, split the work into 3 separate contracts, which is what we have on your agenda tonight. One is for cemeteries, one is for work at city complexes, which is this building and this location, as well as our public service complex. And then there's a 3rd contract for grounds and right-of-way mowing. So we did that. We changed the scope of work within each of those. We changed frequencies of some of the mowing to make it more consistent, cut back on a little bit of the work. We changed some of the locations. Our staff went through, there's a long list of locations in the bids for right-of-ways, along streets and things like that. And they really went in and looked at that really hard to make sure these were all necessary items and made some adjustments to that too. So we put it back out for bid. We accepted bids again on June 3rd. At that time, we received multiple bids for each of the 3 contracts. So we did accomplish the goal of making sure that we had more bidders participating in the project. Total cost, if we award the low responsive bid for each of these contracts, is $327,100. So we did cut about $37,000 off of the cost from having the single bid earlier. So were able to reduce the cost a little bit. The awards that are recommended tonight, one is for the city complexes. The low apparent bidder for that is Precision Lawn Care and Landscaping with a bid of $44,700. For cemeteries, the low apparent bid is from Scott Moret with a bid of $197,000 even. And then for grounds and right-of-way mowing, the low bid is from Precision Lawn Care and Landscaping in the amount of $85,400. So we will have 2 different contractors if the awards go to these firms. We did have a bid protest filed by Charles Hughes Construction for this bid. He challenged the cemetery bid on the grounds that Scott Moret does not have a pesticide license, and he did not have any proven experience, according to what Charles Hughes could find. He also challenged the city complex's bid, stating that Precision does not have a landscape contractor license. So we looked into these. We wanted to give this fair justice, make sure we're doing the right thing. For the cemetery bid, under the requirements we put out in the bid, we did not require any bidders to have a pesticide license under the terms of the bid. The means of doing the work in the cemeteries, if somebody does decide they need to use pesticides, they would have to have a license. We do not dispute that. But at this point, we have met with the low bidder. We've talked to him about his experience and background and his methods and what he proposes. He's not proposing to spray at this point, but if he did in the future, he would have to have a license, and so we would hold him to that requirement. Under the city complexes bid, landscaping contracting terms are listed in the general statutes. They're in General Statute 89D, sections 11 through 24. So we went through those and looked at that in detail to see when is a landscaping contractor required to have a license. It is basically for contractors that do hardscaping and involved detailed landscaping things, putting in drainage systems, doing installations of plants and vegetation and landscaping. So that is the basic requirement. There are exemptions listed for a number of things. One of them does list an exemption for government agencies performing landscaping on public property. That might apply in this case. There's also an exemption for anybody doing work on their own property where they do not have to have a license. And then there are some more detailed exemptions for arboriculture, which is pruning and removing trees, lawn mowing and turf edging and debris removal. And there's also an exemption if somebody's doing turf management and lawn care only, which would include just doing fertilization or weed control. When we presented that information back to Mr. Hughes, he came back and stated that his real objection was the fact that our bid included placing mulch, which he felt does require a license. What I would say in that respect, we could do 2 things with this bid. One, we could make the contractor get a license before they do mulching. Again, we did not require a license in the bid. The second thing we could do is omit the mulching from the award and bid that separate later in the year when we decide to do the work. So if we take that step, it would change the bid for the city complexes from $44,700 to an award of $42,000. So we've got ways we can cover these things. There's nothing that I've seen in any of the requirements that states we can't get the contractors to address the issues if they're really issues. So at this point, I'm recommending moving forward with the awards, maybe with the exception of the mulch. If we want to take the mulch out of the contract, to be sure that contract does not require a landscape contracting license, we could do that. It would reduce that bid award to $42,000. I'll be glad to answer any questions. I know there's a lot to look through, but I did want to make sure council was aware of the protest and that we've looked into that.
Okay, any questions from the council?
I would ask the attorney, what do you think about?
I'd go ahead and approve the bids as presented. If the licensure board had an opinion on the mulch, then I'd address it then.
I motion to approve the bid of $44,700. You want us to keep going, or you want to just do that?
Well, we gotta do them one at a time.
You could do them as a group.
Can we do them as a group?
Yep, you could, unless somebody objects.
Do them as a group.
Do 'em as a group.
All right, I motion to, approve the bid for, city complexes, precision lawn care and landscaping for $44,700. I motion to approve the bid for cemetery Scott Moret in the amount of $197,000. I approve I consider motion to approve the bid also for the $85,000 to grounds and right-of-way to precision lawn care and landscaping for $85,400.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by Councilmember Les Lifford.
Second.
And it's been seconded by Councilman Hardy. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. Thank you, council. Mr. Miller, we're gonna continue on with number 8. Consider approval to purchase a used 2024 Freightliner rear load and garbage truck. $210 grand for garbage truck, Steve. Let's talk about it.
Thank you, Mayor. At the May 19th meeting, City Council approved a budget amendment to allocate insurance proceeds in the amount of $210,958.33 for the purchase of a used truck. This is to replace a garbage truck that was damaged during the winter storms back in January when it slid off the road and it flipped on its side and damaged the frame of the truck. It was declared a total loss by the insurance company. After you approved the budget amendment, our staff went out, they researched for local trucks. They found one that was over in the Greensboro area, that originally in South Carolina. They scheduled a visit. We went out with our environmental staff that operates the truck as well as a mechanic from our fleet maintenance department to inspect the vehicle and see if it was in good condition, which it had seemed to be. When they did the inspection, they did find, in fact, it is in good condition. It is a 2024 Freightliner, which is the same year as the truck that was damaged. It has 23,500 miles on it, 1,950 hours. So it's very low mileage for a vehicle. It's 2 years old, and seems to be a very good vehicle for us to be able to get for that type of price. New trucks in that price are over $300,000. So it makes a lot more sense since this is available to do it. It's unusual to hear about having used garbage trucks, especially recent model years. But we talked with the vendor. This vehicle had been in a lease program and had been turned back in by the company that had leased it, which is why it's available. So tonight, I'm asking City Council to approve the purchase of this vehicle, which is stock number UT 2109, in the amount of $210,000. If you approve the purchase, we'll be able to go and pick it up this coming week. So there will be no rollover. It should be completed by the end of the budget year.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Any questions from the council?
Yeah, Steve, that was it was an insurance job anyway, right?
Right, it's insurance funds.
Nothing further.
None Pearl. Sam? Mayor Pro Tem? Okay. At this time, we entertain a motion to consider approval of the purchase of the used 2024 Freightliner rear load garbage truck.
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Hardy,
Second.
second by Councilmember Lifford. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried.
Got him.
I got you, Chief.
All
right. Okay, on the action agenda, special events permit, Chief Goyette for the Really, Really Free Market.
All right, this is for the Really, Really Free Market. This is going to be held on Saturday, June 27th, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be in the parking lot of the Kinston Enterprise Center. It's actually the second one that they've held. It's going to be a free market. It's not an event as far as a fundraising project. They're just going to try and give some stuff away, as well as food, clothing, a lot of goods. It's really good for the community. The city of Kinston is listed as the insurance certificate holder, and the hold harmless agreement has been signed. Again, this is the second one this year. We do not object to this whatsoever. So just at this time, I ask that we go ahead and get this approved for Ms. Crystal Suggs.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the council? None. At this time, we entertain a motion to approve the special events permit for the Really Really Free Market. Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Ledford. Second.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hardy. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. All right, Chief, special events permit for the Kinston Teen Sunday Dinner.
All right, thank you, sir. This is for Sunday, June 21st. They want to close the street down from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. They want to close down a small portion of Tower Hill, just as they have in the past. I think this is probably their 12th time they've held this. No issues whatsoever. It's a good event where they give food away, and there's other vendors there as well. The city of Kinston is listed as the insurance certificate holder, and the hold harmless agreement has been signed. So at this time, we just ask for permission to move forward, get this signed off for Kinston teens.
All right, thank you, Chief. Any questions from the council? No questions. At this time, we entertain a motion to adopt the special events permit.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hardy, second by Councilmember Lifford. All in favor, vote by saying aye. All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Information updates. Move on to the number one public reminder, the Juneteenth parade. Leon Steele.
Thank you. Good evening. If you'll let me, since we're not going to have a meeting the week of July 4th, I have a couple of little things I want to add onto it, if that's okay, at the end. All right, thank you. Yeah, I want to remind everybody that the Juneteenth parade, the first one for Kinston, is taking place on Saturday, June 20th. The route is like the Christmas parade. It starts at Granger Stadium, goes to Queen Street, and then down to Caswell McElwain. So we'll be live streaming it for those who can't be there in person or don't live here. That will be on the Downtown Kinston Revitalization platform. Also that day is at Southeast School Park, the food truck festival, and that's open from 8 to 8. And by the way, the parade starts at 3 in the afternoon. This is open. This is ongoing all day. Something of particular interest that we should all be paying attention to is on Thursday, June 25th, we have a film crew coming to town to document downtown. They want to pick up everything that's our day vibe, our night vibe, what our stores look like, what are the restaurants we have, the architecture, the public art. We'll be spending the day. We'll get started around 1 o'clock and end around midnight that day. So we will be posting on the DK Facebook page the actual schedule for the videography, and you can look at that in a day or so, and decide if you want to go have lunch at Plaza del Mariachi, or if you want to go be part of this at Vivian Howard Chef and the Farmer, or be a customer in some place or whatever. Or really the idea is we want everybody to come downtown. You know, we don't want to look like a dead town. We want the activity. We want the liveliness that we have. We want people in the stores walking on the sidewalks. They're even going to take pictures of the Neuse River. By the way, they're going to do some drone shots of the river, and they're also doing a drone shot at the ball game that night, very, very briefly. So if you just want to go hang out at the gazebo and be in part of it, that would be fine. But they'll be taking still pictures and video pictures, video footage as well. They're doing this as part of a state Main Street to Main Street program of 79 different communities in the program. So we're looking forward to showcasing what we have with them. They've really just kind of gotten into this whole thing, but they'll be arriving the night before and getting started at 1 the next day. So what we want to do is we want to ask, whatever happened to this? It doesn't matter. So what we want to do, ask the merchants to do that morning is to make sure you sweep your sidewalks, clean the street gutter if you would, please. We're going to try to get the street sweeper out, but just double check. And we want everything to be tidy and, shine up the glass and make your displays look good, that sort of thing. Be engaged, be ready. They're going to be everywhere downtown. The other things I wanted to announce is, since it's on June 18th, which is this Thursday, we're having Block and Roll on Heritage Street. The Switch will be playing. They always just bring a massive group of people, so the merchants need to be ready for that. They play all kind of music that everybody likes, all your favorite songs and stuff. It'll be my second time to see them, and that's in the 200 block of Heritage Street from 7 to 9. On July 3rd, which is a Friday, we'll have our final Block and Roll, and that will be a big band with lots of equipment and horns and stuff called Bread, Wine, and Blues out of Ahoskie. We've had them once before for July 4th, and they were very well received. And also on July 4th, don't forget we have our naturalization program at Harmony Hall for our new citizens. And then right after that, they're going to the farmers market for a big American Day, I guess, with food and games and apple pie and hot dogs and that sort of thing. That'll be a nice thing. So if you get a chance to go down there and introduce yourself and introduce them to your friends you might see there. And at 2 o'clock that day, Tanya Adams is doing her annual duck race on the river. They'll dump the rubber ducks in. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. It's really fun to go watch them float down the river. Scott might even be in the river gathering them up as they float toward the King Street Bridge. And thankfully it's low water right now, so he may even have to shoo them along a little bit. So if you wanted to buy a duck, contact Tanya Adams at the Beauty Box, and that number is 252-522-3939. It's $10 a duck, and then there's a break for 3 and 5 and that sort of thing, and there are also corporate sponsorships. That should be on one of our videos that's coming out probably tomorrow or the next day. That project, the funds she raised always goes towards some good thing in the community, right? And the poor train over at the Newsway Nature Center has needed some love for a long time, and it's really on its last wheels. And the proceeds from the duck race is going to go to this. So we talk about things for the kids. The kids love the train. They like the ducks. Bring the kids out to the park. Buy some ducks, but buy them before that day. Call her up and get your duck number and come see how your duck performs in the river. That's all I've got for tonight. And thank you for letting me throw in that extra stuff.
Mr. Leon, give me that phone number one more time.
It's Tanya Adams at the Beauty Box, and this is the number at the Beauty Box. It's 252-522-3939. $10 a duck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Leon.
Leon, how do you get your duck on the front row?
Is that a joke? Because I want to hear the punchline. I want to hear the answer to that. Oh, you'll have to bribe Scott.
As Leon prepares to share with us, I would say there's been a lot of dates given this evening of upcoming events, which I think, Madam Chair is going to send us the upcoming events, but I really think it might be a good idea of when we've got all these upcoming events, if we just kind of maybe attach that to the agenda, because a lot of people are doing this right now in the audience, and there's a lot of things to keep up with. But if we could actually have upcoming events that can be shared on the agenda, on our Facebook page, on our website, I think it would be a great benefit, not only to us here, but those in the community.
All right, nothing else from the council? All right, We're going to the consider approval of appointment of the North Carolina GT Board of Directors. Ms. Thompson. Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. I received a letter from the board, the secretary to the North Carolina Global Transport Authority Board. And it's, as of June 30th, the appointment that we have there, it will expire. And at this time, they are looking for either continuing that appointment or delegating another representative. And at this point, I think, Mayor Moore, you have exercised an interest or stated that you have an interest. So, council?
Talk about it, y'all.
I make a motion that we appoint, Mayor Moore to the, GTP.
I second it.
That's okay. They made a motion to appoint you. Yeah, you okay.
I guess I carry my own motion. Okay, it's been properly motioned by Councilman Hardy and second by Mayor Pro Tem Solomon that I be appointed to the North Carolina Global Transport Board. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right.
Okay, now you Steve.
Okay, seeing none, motion carried. All right, at this time, I'm gonna bound back, and because this is special for us, but we have two things we want to do. And since we were just on the Juneteenth, I'm gonna go with this proclamation first. City of Kinston proclamation from the office of the mayor. Whereas Juneteenth is the oldest Black American holiday that observes and commemorates the day when 250,000 enslaved people learned of their freedom 2.5 years after signing the Emancipation Proclamation. And whereas on January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. And whereas after Union General Gordon Granger announced General Order Number 3 on June 19, 1865, proclaiming that all enslaved individuals were free. The news of emancipation finally reached the enslaved people of Galveston, Texas. And whereas although slavery in the United States is in the past, civil rights and equality issues for Black Americans persist. And we are committed to efforts that ensure the progress that has been made only continues to move forward. And whereas diligent work continues within our community to preserve this vital history, promote cultural awareness, and organize celebrations that honor the resilience and triumphs of African Americans. And whereas the Charter of Freedom has dedicated its efforts to promoting civic education, honoring foundational democratic principles, and safeguarding the fundamental rights and liberties of all citizens. And whereas for this year's commemoration, the Juneteenth Committee and Charter of Freedom have joined together in a historic collaboration, uniting their shared missions to highlight the profound connection between universal freedom and active civic responsibility. And whereas this powerful partnership strengthens our community by bringing diverse voices together, fostering meaningful dialogue, and creating an inclusive space to reflect on our past while building a more equitable future. Now, therefore, I, Kareem S. Moore, Mayor of the City of Kinston, do hereby officially recognize June 19th, 2026 as Juneteenth in the City of Kinston and encourage all residents to join in the celebration of freedom that Juneteenth represents and continue our efforts to help make Kinston a community that is a welcoming place where all have the opportunity to thrive. I hereby set my hand and have caused the seal of the City of Kinston, North Carolina, to be affixed this 16th day of June, 2026. Mayor Kareem Moore. Okay. At this time, we have another proclamation. I'll invite Councilmember Ledford to bring one of Kinston's own to talk about a historic figure right within our own community. Mr. Ledford.
All right, on this day, City of Kinston, Office of the Mayor, proclamation. Whereas Lovick's Cafe has been a cherished establishment in our community since 1941, marking 85 remarkable years serving delicious food, establishing friendship, and creating countless memories. And whereas Lovick's Cafe has stood the test of time, adapting to the changing needs and taste of its patrons while maintaining its commitment to quality and service. And whereas the widely known dough burgers have been talked about, eaten by many of the citizens and visitors here as well. And whereas the contributions of Lovick's Cafe extend beyond the culinary offerings, as it has become a gathering place for friends and families, a venue of celebrations, a space for meetings and support of local initiatives. And whereas the legacy of Lovick's Cafe is woven into the fabric of our community, which represents the dedication Reed, Susan, Steve, and his wife, Christina, had to follow the footsteps of Milton and Eva Lovick and Mac and Marjorie Lovick with the passions of his owners and staff. Now, therefore, I do hereby proclaim June as Lovick's Cafe Anniversary Month in recognition of its 85th anniversary, and I encourage all citizens to join in celebrating this remarkable milestone and continue supporting local businesses that bring us together. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 16th day, June 2026, Mayor Kareem Moore.
Can you come up, Steve?
Can you come up, Steve?
Mike.
Mike.
Don't want to say much, but I mean, I'm just trying to carry on what they did. I mean, you know, we talk about it, especially young kids, 40s. I mean, you know, we don't even know what was going on in the 40s. I mean, that was tough times. I mean, World War II, Great Depression. It was just, I can't imagine what it was like. But I've just tried to continue what they did. And, you know, because of this community, we've been right there on Heritage Street for a long time. And, I mean, there's been a many story made and many a deal made sitting in there at that counter with farmers and workers. And, I mean, Kinston, you know, our cafe's been there when we were thriving with shirt factories and plants, and we saw it go down, and now it's come back up. But, you know, I appreciate the council, everybody for supporting us. My wife, sadly, I was at a funeral home when Les called me. It was a little bit off key. I was trying to circle a bunch of horses, but I appreciate this, all my staff, and everything that y'all do for us. And we're just glad to be able to have last week we had a celebration week. It was great. We had someone there every day to support us, and then we were able to give back to Mary's Kitchen. We got that doubled by some council members so I said if I got it doubled, I would do Friends of the Homeless on Thursday. So I did Friends of the Homeless on Thursday. So that's what it's about. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about community. You know, there's no, you know, and I'm a Kinstonian, and I hate division, and we've all seen it in the past years, and that's not Lovick's Cafe. That's not why we've been there 85 years. So I appreciate everything, and my family and everybody. I appreciate everything. Oh, we got it, yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you now.
Hey, you could have, you ain't finished. Come on, Buck. Go ahead, brother.
Here y'all get over.
Warehouse special tomorrow.
Thank you now. Appreciate it.
All right.
we did everything, didn't we?
I believe you did.
We did good.
Good?
Yeah.
You did good?
Yeah, I think we did good.
Yeah, you did. That was of it.
Like, we can go ahead and go home.
Yeah, you expect anything less?
All we gotta do is see if anybody got things.
All right. All right, council, we're gonna move on with the, city manager's report. Get y'all out here.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Okay? Mr. Attorney? No report. Council?
I got a few things, Mr. Mayor, of course.
All right?
First of all, I want to thank all those that came out last Sunday to the Mayor's Kitchen to feed the homeless. Fed about over 100 people. Total volunteers that come out and support the community. And that's what I keep elaborating on, is these programs that we, as community leaders and those in the community that's always giving back. Also, I want to recognize that I talk about summer programs for our youth. Want to thank the rec department for getting the swimming pool open for the young kids first day out of school. And I mean, it was crowded, and parents were grateful that their kids had somewhere to go with school being out. Also, on Mondays and Wednesdays, they got girls basketball at Holloway Center. On Tuesday and Thursday, they got girls flag football at Barnett Park. And also, on Tuesday and Thursdays, they have men's basketball at Holloway Center. So, just want to thank the rec department for continuously providing these opportunities for our youth and for our kids to have somewhere to go and participate in sports and different things. Because everybody always saying that there's nothing for the children to do. But we totally focus on that being in the rec department. Also, Mr. Lovick came and he talked about his contributions to the city. And I appreciate what him and his family was able to do for the homeless shelter and for Mayor's Kitchen. Also to our council members that participated in his 85th celebration, and also helping to support those two organizations. And just to let people know that the council is doing their part. You may not always see us doing what we do, because we don't brag and boast about what we do. Also, for all the graduates that graduated and the council members that were able to participate in the 3 high school graduations. Ms. Solomon, always, she's an educator, so she's always there and 100% support. Ms. Seaforth, who's not with us tonight, also want to thank her for all her participation. To all 3 high schools. You know, we live in the city, but we support all organizations. So just want to shout out to them. And to the members of the Gate that's doing such a tremendous job with our youth there. We don't want to leave them out. And one last thing, Ms. Seaforth wanted me to send a gratitude to public service for their work in cleaning up the cemeteries, and she wants to make sure that that y'all heard her voice on that, and she wants y'all to continue to make that a better place for our deceased. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Hey, Sam?
Again, I'd like to thank all of the graduates, especially my great-grandson at Northwest Elementary Kindergarten, and the teachers there. I had the opportunity to go there, and it kind of like, as a city councilman, as a human being, seeing the youth like that and see them enthused and all, I said, we as parents and council and staff and everybody, we got to make sure that those generations, we're going to have a better Kinston for them to live in. So we're looking forward to, we as a council, to make it happen. I'd like to encourage people to come out and celebrate Juneteenth celebration this weekend. I'll be in Cary. I won't be able to make it, but I'll make my donation. I do the U.S. Color Troop every year up there in Cary. And that's about it. And I think we had a nice meeting tonight. So thank the staff.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. Briefly, just again wanted to express gratitude to our department heads, city manager, the council for working together to come up with a budget that we can be happy with. Also want to thank Ms. Dawn Whitfield for coming tonight. I see Mr. Fields has left. I'm going to ask her to take 60 seconds of my report because I did want her to come out and share about the upcoming summer camp that will be held at the gate. And as she makes her way to the podium, we do want to express gratitude. Dawn Whitfield is our newest director at the gate. And I think for those of you who remember the inception of the gate, I think one of the greatest honors that could be bestowed upon upon anybody, is for when the first director, Miss Wanda, came and pretty much put her stamp on Ms. Whitfield. And what I'm so excited about is the fact that when the gate was first birthed, we know that the gate's focus and primary mission was prevention. To prevent children, juvenile, to give children, to be proactive, to give them something off the street. And what I see happening at the gate in such a short time, surely the work that is happening now is going to be greater. And that's what all things are supposed to be. The work is always supposed to be greater. Everyone asks, and then the next person who gets the baton, the work is to be greater. So I want you to take a minute and share about the upcoming summer program at the gate.
So I thank you so much, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, for that nice introduction. Like I said, I am the new director over at the Gate of Lenore County. Many of you know me in Kinston. I am appreciative of the opportunity to serve the Gate in the city of Kinston and Lenore County as well. We have many things going on at the Gate. Please stop by and see just what we're doing and how we're changing these young individuals' lives. We are very active. We follow through from the beginning to the end in our school year program. We partner with several entities to make sure that they are fulfilled spiritually, they are fulfilled educationally, and most of all, we are there for them support-wise in many factors. So when I was called on to do a summer camp for the summer to make sure that we had enough places for all of our youth to go, I did not hesitate to answer that call. So we do have a summer camp. This is our first year, and we do have a summer camp going on that it will be starting June the 22nd, going throughout July the 24th. We will be offering, we have 50 openings. They are filling up fast. We are getting very good traction, and we have partnered with several organizations throughout the city and the county to make sure that they have blocks. So they have everything to do during the summer. And most importantly, we do not drop the ball on education at the Gate. So we will continue our educational journey throughout the summer because kids can lose so much during the summer. So we will make sure that we're there to prevent that drop of the ball and make sure that they're prepared when they return to school. And I just want to extend a nice welcome to the city of Kinston because they make sure that we have our digital literacy room up and running with our computers. So I thank God for that. And they are there anytime that I call. Anytime that I call on any of the city council members, they are there to answer that call. So I thank you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. But if you know any kids that are looking for placement still, we are available to help and assist with that. So send them to the Gate. Thank you so much.
And if your concluding words can be the congratulations of the 3 scholarship recipients from the Gate.
So throughout the year, we developed when I came to the gate, I wanted to make sure that we rewarded those individuals that came out and volunteered. So we put the call out to the principals of Lenoir County Public Schools, and we were able this year to award 3 $500 scholarships to our rising graduating seniors, who will be Miss Nina Gibson, who will be attending North Carolina University at Chapel Hill. She received one, Miss Kaylin Morris, who will be going to Winston-Salem State, and Mr. Michael Morris, who will be attending North Carolina Central University. So, but I thank everyone in the city who has supported us and who continue to support us. Thank you so much. Just get the word out there. Just stop by, see us, go to our Facebook page and our website and follow us so that you can see all the wonderful things that these kids are doing and how they're developing. And it's just really impacting their lives. So I just thank you for the opportunity and the compliments that Mrs. Solomon has awarded me. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great, great, great news coming from the gate. Councilman Lippert.
Good job, staff. God bless. Good night.
All right, with that being said, I think we've said enough. This time, we're gonna move to make a motion to go into closed session for closed session, General Statute 143-318.11A3, legal advice, and personnel 143-318.11A6. At this time, I entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Hardy, and a second. Second by Councilmember Lippert. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, closed session.
Will that be in my office? Yeah, it's your office.
Okay, at this time, we entertain a motion to recess until June 23rd, where we will reconvene at, was it 201? 201 North Queen Street,
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock a.m. Suite 2A. Entertain a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Hardy, second by Councilmember Lippert. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed have the same right. Seeing none, motion carried. Recess.